Hello, everybody. Welcome to School Cinema. My name is Fatima. I'm the L&D head, Learning and Development head, and manager for international business. So I'm very happy to welcome you to this module, this video, where we're going to talk about how school cinema is relevant and what school cinema is all about. So let's begin. So school cinema is about making lessons of life. So let's understand a little bit about basically how school cinema came about. So what we were wondering were several questions like, did you know that 70% of students lose hope in stressful situations? 3 in 4 students suffer from low confidence. 1 in 2 students reported dissatisfaction with their school and personal lives. 1 in 2 students don't understand their emotions. 2 in 3 schools don't have a dedicated curriculum that deals with these problems. So this is a very big, what you're seeing on the screen are all relevant and real statistics for different students in their schools. And this is common to all students. 2 in 3 teachers are ill-equipped to handle these problems in students. So teachers are not trained enough to handle these problems in students. So what this means is that students are ill-prepared for the modern workplace. Too much pressure on grades on students. Underperformance of students, that means lower grades because of these problems we just mentioned earlier. Too much competition to deal with for students. Too much major emphasis on conceptual understanding and neglect to incorporate practical learning in schools. Schools are not prepared to understand and deal with Generation Z. Generation Z is basically a generation that were born after the 1990s because they are born in a different world completely. So we need to understand how Generation Z works. So we don't know that yet. So we need to understand that. So what happens when these problems don't get solved? First of all, if these problems don't get solved, you get mental health issues. For example, conditions as anxiety, depression, behavioral disorders may persist and even become worse. So this will impact a student's overall well-being and quality of life. Then academic and professional challenges. Emotional problems can hinder children's academic performance and their ability to concentrate and learn, achieve their full potential. This can lead to lower grades, decreased educational attainment, and limited career opportunities later in life. Apart from this, the problem will be social and relationship difficulties. Unresolved emotional problems can affect children's social skills and relationships. They may struggle with forming and maintaining healthy relationships, having difficulty in managing conflicts, experience isolation or social withdrawal, and face challenges in building supportive networks. So basically, the students and the nation as a whole suffers when these problems go unsolved. So let's move on and see what's the missing ingredient. So we're setting to find out what the missing ingredient is. So we decided to take up this mission to save children's lives in India. And we decided to go on and move ahead and understand how exactly what these problems come because of and what to do to solve these problems. So to get to the bottom of the problem, we consulted with adult and child psychologists. We met with education policymakers. We interviewed hundreds of principals, teachers, parents, and kids. And we reached out to researchers to conduct an on-ground research that studied children in their home and school environments. After a year of intense research and groundbreaking findings, we found the answers that changed our old beliefs about education. Life skills. So this is what we came to understand, that life skills are the main ingredient. They are the potent formula, the magical solution to all the problems we had discussed earlier, where students were facing problems in their lives and they were getting undetected. So all these problems come down to a main ingredient, and that is life skills. So let's see what WHO says about life skills. In 1997, World Health Organization integrated social and emotional learning, life skills, and health and mental well-being as a part of school curriculum. Abilities for adaptive and positive behavior that enables individuals to deal effectively with the demands and challenges of everyday life. Then National Education Policy in India states the post-academic world, pandemic world, parents and educators realize the need to support overall development, mental well-being, and 21st century skills along with academic excellence. So academic excellence is not enough. We need to have an overall development of the child if we are to make sure that the child is 21st century ready. Apart from this, UNICEF's research also tells us to make sure that the students have a holistic development. A holistic development is a complete development of the child. Because academics is one part, it is important. Academics are very important, marks are important, but overall development of the child is equally important. So we have to make sure that the circle is complete. So what exactly are life skills? Life skills are essential abilities that help individuals navigate the challenges of life successfully. For example, communication skills, decision-making skills, leadership skills. All these skills are a part of life skills that are important for a student in life to make sure that they're successful in different parts and areas. Now, a student has different parts and areas of their lives with their parents, with their friends, in school, with their own selves. So all these are very important. Now, the big question was how to teach life skills in a manner that children and adults understand and remember the best in their lives. What is the basic manner? So basically, we can teach through books, we can teach through lectures, we can teach through, say, educational documentaries. So what is the best way? So we understand that. To get to the answer, we went to our Indian wisdom and roots, storytelling. So if we see storytelling is basically a method that has been used not just in Indian wisdom, throughout the world, where like important religious scriptures have been written in stories. And that's because humans understand the concepts best in the term of stories and remember best. Now let's see why storytelling. Because if we go to science tells us that to the human brain, imagined experiences are processed the same as real experiences. So through imagination, we tap into creativity that is the foundation of innovation, self-discovery, and change. So you might have seen a child, if you have a child, for example, you might have noticed that the child plays with these dolls or with action figures, heroes, and they actually play in such a manner that they actually believe that this is real. Even when we go to movies, we are happy when the character is happy, we are sad when the character is sad, because in our hearts, we believe we are the characters. So we are imagining ourselves in the place of the character. So it makes it very powerful. Because if we want to make a change in somebody, we have to change their feelings, not just their thinking. So that's why the imagination process taps into the feelings. Psychologists refer to this imagination as narrative transport. A study shows that on an average, after 3 days, we can recall 10 to 20% of spoken words, that is lectures that are usually taking place in schools, only 10% written, but an astonishing 65% of visual image. So as you can see that the best medium to teach for somebody to understand and remember is a visual image, and a video and a film is nothing more than a group of visual images set together. Thus, school cinema was born. So our innovation, what is the innovation in school cinema? We understand that storytelling is the best way forward. So we use a method and practicing using film, especially as academic subject or theoretical concept. This is our innovation. Nobody in the world is doing this right now. We're the only ones who are teaching students life skills through the mode of film pedagogy. So school cinema, what is school cinema? School cinema is a groundbreaking pedagogical experiences using cinematic storytelling and thought-provoking activities to reaffirm the life skills and social and emotional skills for students, parents, and educators. Now, we don't just stop at students, we make sure that the parents and the teachers are also a part of the learning. So we have films not just for students, but we have films for teachers and parents as well per year. So we make sure that the parents and teachers are also in line with the development of the child. So we have produced on our own 120 plus original productions. So these are our own productions, and we are very proud to say that we have won 7 national awards for the films that we have made. The President of India has awarded us 7 times for 7 different films that we have been chosen for. Apart from that, we also make sure that our films are present in international film festivals. School cinema films go to international film festivals, and we have gone to over 450 international film festivals. Apart from that, in the past 12 years of school cinema, 2 million students have been impacted, their lives have been impacted, the teachers' lives have been impacted, and the parents' lives have been impacted as well. Apart from this, we have over 800,000 current school cinema users, which are students. An interesting fact you would love to know is that LXL Ideas is the most awarded and largest producers of short films for children in India. So what is our vision? Our vision is to basically, school cinema envisions a global transformation education movement, weaves values, emotions, and personal growth into learning. We aim to equip every student with resilience and integrity, fostering lifelong learners who embrace diversity, champion positive change, and impact over 100 million young lives. Our mission is to positively inspire, influence, and impact students, teachers, parents, and educational providers by creating fresh content delivered traditional and new media. And you might be aware that making very good quality content is the key to success. Then we building a platform and activating community of students through engaging ideas, concepts, and events. Apart from that, sharing our platform and network with people and organizations who love innovating, who are innovating and desire to scale up their presence in learning space. Apart from that, influencing plans and policy to enhance quality of education for regulators and providers. Let's move on. So let's see what are the issues and life skills featured in films. We have basically films on different topics, as you can see from the screen. So we have films on different topics and different issues. So what we do is basically every school student has in their different grades, different problems that they're facing. Okay, so basically based on those different problems that they're facing in their lives, we do a research and we basically make those film topics. So as you can see, these are all topics which are relevant for students. For example, decision making, how to make good decisions, realizing one's mistake. This is very important in students to develop their empathy and values. Apart from that, family values, being grateful, self-confidence, very important. Dealing with jealousy, because one of us, some or the other time, face jealousy problems, and how do we deal with those jealousy problems. Then apart from that, how to deal with insecurity. This is because students are still developing their personality. So because of that, they sometimes are insecure in their own shoes. So we make films on that. Apart from that, films on effective communication, dealing with peer pressure. This is very important. So let's move on. So here we have, so enabling life skills and social and emotional learning and well-being. So basically we have identified 3 steps of impactful learning. Because how do you teach life skills? For example, if you are teaching a subject called mathematics, you will learn the formulas, you will understand how, for example, if you're learning about English as well, you will learn about grammar, you will learn about nouns, verbs, the different grammatical rules we have, the writing skills we have. So all of these things we will learn. But how do we teach a subject called life? A subject called life can be taught from our research into 3 very important steps. The first step is learning awareness. Okay, first of all, the film creates awareness, inspires positive behavior, and enables dealing with the challenges effectively. Okay, for example, I'll give you an example. If a child is unaware about the problems of technology and, for example, screen addiction, that addicted to screens, and they're addicted to technology. Technology is not a problem, but when they're addicted to screens, that makes a problem. So the student might not be aware what the problems are. Okay, for example, when they watch a film, like we have a film on technology addiction called Life Calling. So in that film, the parents keep on telling the student that they need to stop being on the screen. The student hears that all the time and they're like, okay, but they're not really doing anything about it. The reason they're not doing anything about it because they're not aware. They're not aware what the problem is with the screen. So when we show them the film, they realized, oh, if I'm addicted to the screen, I'll start sitting in one place and putting on weight. I'll lose my friends, my eyesight will get affected, my grades will get affected. So the film basically makes the student aware. Then the next step comes understanding. To make this understanding even very stronger, we make sure we give them very, very powerful questions in the workbook. Apart from the powerful questions in the workbook, they have discussions, debates, activities, and enable internalization and understanding of learning. So this is the next step after awareness, that was understanding. The third step is action time, where we have given students projects and assignments. What these projects and assignments do is that they enable the learning and understanding to be translated into real life. So you can say that what is the need of understanding and awareness without actually doing anything about it. So that's the reason we have come for action time, where the students are actually doing and putting the learning into practice. So as you can see, the 3 steps are very impactful of awareness, understanding, and action. So now let's understand how does school cinema work. So students, first of all, watch entertaining age-relevant short films in school, each based on life skill or value. So as we all know that these films are not full feature films. These films are like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 12 minutes. So these are short films that the students watch on each based on a life skill. Then after the screening is followed by discussions and activities. My Cinema Book is a workbook, and or digitally or on in the book or on LMS. Apart from this, every grade has 10 students films, 1 parent film and 1 teacher film. Program is designed for KG to grade 10, implemented by teachers trained and supported by LXL. Now let's go to the components of the workbook. So as we said, there are, in My Cinema Book, it is a high full quality animated workbook. It's full color to develop and enable deeper understanding of the topic at hand. Apart from that, we have this workbook can be done with the student, or she or she can do it with the parents, by the teachers or their friends. Let's understand how the workbook works. Now let's have a look at the workbook. So this is a grade 4 workbook sample that I'm showing you. So the first thing from the workbook is we have a message from the school cinema team. For example, films are fantastic. This workbook is designed for you to enjoy as a part of school cinema. We'd like to hear from you. And then we mentioned who the school cinema team is, that we have won 7 National Film Awards. Apart from this, we have been featured in one of the best international film festivals. Then we have, for example, super hits of school cinema. For example, we have the different films, we have snapshots from different films here, and we have the page numbers that they can find it on. This is the index basically. Apart from this is there is this character called Dude. So Dude is your friend from the world of school cinema, and like this we have different characters in different workbooks. So Dude is, for example, in grade 4. And then we have Miley in grade 3, for example. And then we have other characters in different ages. So every character is for a different particular age group, and these are basically the mascots. These characters help the students, take them through different kinds of advices, tips, and activities. So these are the different characters that we have introduced. And here, this is about talking about what Dude likes to do. So, for example, Dude's favorite subject is chemistry. He likes playing football. He has a pet dog. He likes eating watermelon. He loves his grandmother. So this is about Dude. Then what is your world like? So in the beginning of the workbook, basically we have what our world, the students' world is like. What, for example, what's their name, to post their photo, how old they are, where do they study, what's their class, what do they love eating? What do they love reading? What's their favorite politician? What's their favorite holiday? And what do they like the most? And so there's a space for putting other photos also, maybe with their friends or their family. So this makes the workbook very personalized for the person. Apart from that, they put a picture of their home, what they do after school, how they meet their loved ones, what are their hobbies. Then we have a very interesting concept about my home. Basically, this is a concept of building a child's home with the stickers and the pillars and the roof. So the child builds it with different stickers. We have that in depth in a video which I will be sharing it with you. Now let's go to this film called 3 Feet. So as you can see, we have animated characters from the films, and these are instead of just putting a picture of the person, we put the animation as well, because students love animation. That's what we've done. Then here we have, for the student, we have to review the film. For example, if a student watched the film in week 1 and they're doing a workbook in week 2, so we have a review of the film, a synopsis of like a take back from the film. Then apart from that, we have very, very fun questions. For example, number the scenes below in the order that they appear in the film. Okay, so for example, Gonzalo was cleaning his shoes. Which scene was that? Was it scene number 5, scene number 2, based on the other scenes? Then we have match the following. Then we have, for example, tick the right answers. Read the statements carefully and tick the options you feel are correct. Apart from that, put on your, like Dude here is saying, to put on a thinking hat and answer the following questions. Why should we dress up neatly to school? Why do you think it's important to be disciplined? Then, are you disciplined? Yes, no, maybe. And as you can see that most of these answers, they're not right or wrong. These are own personal experiences for students, not like maths or science where there's a right or a wrong answer. Here, there is no right or wrong answer. These are all personal opinions of the students, personal experiences of the students, personal insights of the students. So there is no right or wrong answer. So that's why there's no tick mark in this particular. The teachers don't have to correct this workbook. They can just let it be. So we have a teacher sticker zone here, and we have stickers at the end of the workbook. Then they can stick it here. Then in the end, you have my notes. For example, the students can write their thoughts, their feelings, whatever they feel like writing, they want to draw, they can draw. So whatever they feel like doing, they can do in the mind notes. So I want to take you through one more film. Let's see this film called Monster. Here again is the film synopsis of the film, what the film was about. Here we have, for example, let's see what Dude is saying. Dude is saying, hey, put your hand on your heart and tell me, why don't you use bad words? We don't use bad words at times. So do you have a little monster within you? Because there are some kids who use bad words. So here what they have to do in this particular activity is from the 5 characters below who were the monsters, draw a monster and an angel below them. So what was this particular, was Dhruv the angel or the monster? Was Krish the angel or the monster? Was Mrs. Daniel angel or the monster? So like this, they have to draw the angel or monster. Apart from that, we have questions like, who are you most like? Are you most like Rocky in the film? Krish, Dhruv, Rehan. So apart from that, we have, for example, if those who use foul language have a mean attitude, who want to change and correct their behavior, what should they do? Advise them and apologize to people they have hurt. Okay? So these are the different types of questions. As you can see, beautiful questions, very deep questions, and questions that basically make students think, make students want to make and take an action, make students want to change. And this is what it's about. So let's see the action time here. So let's see what grandmother is saying, that people are not bad, but the language they use may be bad. So avoid picking up this habit. This is what the grandma is saying. This is grandma's wisdom. And Dude has come here with the life skills, for example. So the life skills, Dude says that communication and interpersonal skills are an important aspect of life. With words, we pass on information, share opinions, and impact feelings. So Dude is talking about life skills here. And here we were asked to add 4 foundational blocks to your home. So then again, so this is what the workbook looks like. Very colorful, very beautiful, full of excellent questions that, like, for example, which make sure there is awareness, understanding, and action. If you have any questions about the workbook, make sure that you write to me. I'll make sure that I'll be very happy to share with you about the different aspects of the workbook. If you want to know it deeper in depth, although we will be sharing with you the different workbooks as a sample, so you can have a look for yourself. Now let's understand how the facilitator manual works. So facilitator manual is an instructional booklet for the teachers that tells them how exactly they should lead the lesson of the particular film of school cinema. Okay? So let's see how this facilitator manual works. We basically have film synopsis in the facilitator manual, key objectives, what is the objective of the film, targeted value, attitude, and life skills, issue in focus, topics of discussion, workbook section, suggested activities, and notes. Now, let's go through a facilitator manual. Now, let's have a look at the facilitator manual. As you can see, we have the contents on the facilitator manual. For example, the introduction to school cinema, implementing school cinema, and psychosocial development of early adolescents, and lesson plans. Let's move on and see. So the facilitator manual, as we discussed, is an instructional manual for the teacher on how to use the program. So we have enlisted some information for the facilitator, that is a teacher. So for example, introduction to school cinema, the background, concept of school cinema, as you can see on the screen, objectives of school cinema, benefits for school cinema for students, parents, and teachers. Apart from that, we have program components, for example, films, My Cinema Workbook, Facilitator Manual, LXL, LMS, certification. Apart from that, we have given a list of films with the different lessons, for example, Understanding media is Wake Up Day. Being content with what you have is All Is Well. Sense of Justice is Gungru. So we have films with different messages of the film. So this is the reason is because sometimes the teacher will not get the full 20 minutes or 15 minutes to watch the film before the student watches the film. So because of this reason, we have given them basically the objectives of the film and the outlook of the film. Apart from that, what is the message for adults with the film? So apart from that, we had the My Cinema workbook. It covers 3 levels as we discussed: awareness, understanding, and action. Apart from that, we have the common components in the workbook, for example, questions and activities, day, trial of life, suggestion, graffiti wall, My Space, stickers. Apart from that, we have facilitator manual. For example, apart from that, we have common components for every lesson in the manual, which we will go through now. So apart from that, we have implementing school cinema. Okay. So we have basically session formats. And for example, session requirements. What are the session requirements if they will need for per activities? For example, let's see, preparation for a session. What are the technical requirements that they need? Apart from that, we have appointing a facilitator with the required skill set. Then apart from that, we have session plans. This will be briefly discussed with you in another video, and you can understand from the video how we can suggest session plans to the principal. Apart from that, screening additional films that we have here, for example. So here is the assessment criteria for school cinema LMS, LXL LMS. So here you can go through that, you can have a look at that. So for example, the core is leadership skills. In leadership skills, the subcategory is people management, time management, taking initiative, decision-making, and problem solving. Then we have grading on LMS. This page tells us, for example, watch the film is 35 marks. Fun question is 30 marks. And action time is 35 marks. The total score is of 100 marks. And then we have also given the percentage and the grades from A+, A, B+, B, and C. Apart from that, we have given some information about the particular age group. For example, this facilitator manual is about a psychosocial development of middle adolescents. So we have given the teacher some information about it. If she does not know how to deal with this particular age group, we have given them information about it here in this section. So now let's have a look at a film and see how, for example, for the film Wake Up Day, let's see what the lesson plan looks like. The first thing is the film synopsis. This is a read up for the teacher. As I said, that the teacher does not have time, she can just read about it, what the film is about. So it will just take her literally 1 minute to read this. Apart from that, we have given values, attitudes, and life skills. For example, this film develops the values of citizenship, logic, and reason. Apart from this, we have the issue in focus. Understanding media is the issue in focus in the film. Apart from that, we have given topics of discussion. Here we have almost given 4 topics of discussion. So the teacher can choose 2 or 3 or 4 or 1, depending on the time they have available. Apart from that, we have the workbook section, where students can, teachers, we have given some tips on how to make students do the workbooks. Apart from that, we have suggested activities here for students. Apart from that, we have, for example, action time on LMS, how you make sure the students do that. And then there are some endnotes. And there are some extra questions on purpose, impact, and response and content, interpretations, and credibility. So as you saw, this is the lesson plan for this particular film, and this is what all it includes. So this is the same for all the different lessons we have, okay? So see this one, for example, another one, if you look at All Is Well lesson plan, this is the film. This is the film synopsis. The value is contentment. Then there are different topics of discussion, workbook sections, suggested activities. So we will make sure that we attach a lesson plan, facilitate a lesson plan, like pages for you to have a brief lookout for. So you can go through it and you can understand how it works, and you can make sure that you are in line with how the facilitator manual works. So this was about the facilitator manual. Okay, now we come to the subscription models. We have two types of subscription models for school cinema. One is a classic workbook model where you have 10 student films, one parent film, one teacher film in school access in classic. Apart from that, we have a printed full cinema, full color workbook. Apart from that, we have implementation training for teachers, full year support and helpline access, Mentor magazine subscription, priority on Mentor Connect events. Apart from that, let's go to the digital model. In the digital model, we have 10 student films, one parent film, and one teacher film access on LXL LMS, Learning Management System. Apart from that, we have digital activities and assignments. Apart from that, we have implementation training for teachers, then full year support and helpline access, Mentor magazine subscription, priority on Mentor Connect events, summative and formative assessments for students, course completion and digital certificate for students, and program report for school management and parents. So our dedication to improve the life of millions and support our nation has given us a phenomenal name and success in the field. As you can see from the screen, we have basically, as I mentioned earlier, have won 7 President of India's National Film Awards. We have basically been present in over 450 international film festivals. We have different principals throughout India and the 4 different countries around the world giving us their feedback about school cinema. For example, if you see Miss Manju Sharma, she's the DPS school principal of Bangalore South. She says that the short films, along with captivating workbook, leave a longer, deeper impact on young minds who relate well with characters and issues. So like this, we have a lot of different testimonials for students, teachers, and parents. Let's move on. So here we are introducing you to a school cinema family of schools. So for example, Silver Oak Schools, Sunbeam Schools, Bluebell Schools. We have the Newton Schools in Kolkata. We have the KLE schools. So we have all the DPS schools. So these are all the schools that they are basically adopted school cinema, and they come to us year after year because they love the program. So what is our quality promise? So basically the workbook goes through a 12-step quality check. All films are our own production. A short film of 20-15 minutes can take up to a year to make, and adhering to all our quality standards of making the content child-friendly, unlike what you see in social and popular school media. Apart from this, actors are popular and experienced TV film actors. Relevant topics on research from United Nations. So now we come to why do principals love school cinema? Principals love school cinema because it addresses crucial issues and helps create a positive learning environment. Why do teachers love school cinema? Because teachers, it enhances the teaching and engages students effectively, because the teachers don't have to run behind the students to complete a workbook or do the activities or watch the film. The students take the initiative themselves because they love the program so much. Apart from that, why do students love school cinema? Because it brings stories to life and helps them to develop essential life skills. And mostly it's fun. They love to do school cinema because it's so much fun. There is a period, apart from all their I can say like mundane, boring periods where they can come to life and they can really have fun and watch interesting stuff, do interesting stuff, do the workbook, and they have fun with it. Why parents love school cinema? Because it supports their child's emotional and mental well-being. So now let's have a look at the impact study of school cinema. So school cinema has had a major impact in the lives of students. Okay. For example, we have over 2 million students have been impacted by the program in 4 countries, and over 95% schools have continued the program year after year. Apart from that, 100% of students love the program and most rate it as their favorite aspect of school. Apart from that, 95% of the teachers consider school cinema as an effective way to understand their students and a very innovative way of teaching. Apart from that, 90% of the parents believe that the school is supporting overall development of children with the introduction of school cinema. Apart from this, we have basically a lot of research papers, and our name as school cinema has been published in international journals worldwide. So say yes to school cinema and you can make a difference in the lives of millions of students with the power of school cinema. Thank you very much. I hope you learned a lot in this session. If you have any questions, we have shared the contact details in a folder, and you can get back to us on our email. And thank you very much, and hope so you can also do a lot of reading materials that we have been provided for you for school cinema. If you go through all of the modules in the learning management system of school cinema, you will be well equipped to sell school cinema. So we hope and make sure that you do that, and best of luck. Thank you.